What's up guys, today we have a video talking about the new Battlefield 2042 developers update. So in this video, the DICE developers have basically gone over a load of changes that are going to be coming to Battlefield 2042 up until about December time and Season 3. So first things first is we are having a complete overhaul of the specialists, which we already know their looks and their voice lines, audio, all that sort of stuff was going to change. As you can see, it's cycling through the class systems here as well, which will be getting assault, recon, support and engineer. Now apparently these weapons are all going to be unrestricted to classes, like normally when you play Battlefield 5, 1 or 4, the assault rifles, main assault rifles would be locked to the assault classes. Medics would have like semi-auto rifles, all that sort of stuff, but apparently that's not going to be the case with this, but these classes will benefit more from using these sort of class systems. So support is someone like Falk. She'll be better off with support weapons apparently, even though I use Falk as a daily and I don't think she's that type of player at all. But everything will be unrestricted and supposedly more enjoyable. There will be more work included on the voices, body posture and facial expression changes. They apparently already started this in Season 1, which they did, but it's slowly being like a work in progress. The specialists themselves as well continue to be updated with balance passes that help to best define their roles as unique subclasses within the new system that they are designing. Classes will introduce new restrictions on gadgets, enabling you to better assess the threat and understand who may be carrying what in their arsenal, as well as assigning new class traits to the specialists that will help them to better support their role on the battlefield. Now, I do feel like this is probably like one of the biggest things that they're doing for Battlefield 2042. This is something that a lot of people have sort of been crying out for. I don't know if this, the whole separate weapons, everyone being able to use whatever they want to use, are going to change it. I don't know how much they're going to nerf the gadgets and everything, because if it stays as it is now and they've just got a new label slapped on them, then it's not going to really do much at all. But I think this is probably the sort of best and biggest thing that's going to be coming in the step direction of like sort of improving how the game's going to run. Now they are also going to be adding as well vault weapons, which are basically guns from the Battlefield Portal mode, which will then be available in All Out Warfare and Breakthrough and all that in the main game. So we've got an example here for the M16A3. Two of the assignment challenges would be 30 kills and assists with the underbarrel grenade launcher and 100 kills and assists with the M16A3 or the SFAR MGL. The M60E4, 100 kills and assists with the M60E4 or the PKP, and 100 teammates resupplied with ammo. Now I don't know if this is going to be like a seasonal thing where they're going to try and introduce all of the portal guns into the main game. Seems like something they might do, but there is also going to be two brand new guns as well within the Season 2 update, which they haven't actually disclosed yet, but it is right around the corner. It's important to note though that these guns coming over from Portal are not part of the Battle Pass system. It will be, as I said before, you might have heard me say, they will be part of the mission assignments and you basically just complete them. I don't think there's a time limit or anything, it's just challenges you can do over time to bring them into the main game, but I hope they do some serious balancing, or they've got that already under control, because it's completely, just a complete sort of different type of weaponry, especially when you're bringing them over from Portal mode. But the M60E4 and the M16A3 are going to be the first two weapons that are coming to Battlefield 2042, the base game, as part of Update 2.0. So one of the other biggest things coming to Battlefield 2042 Season 2, apart from the new map that we will be getting, which there is a sneak preview at the end, which I will show, is the work on Renewal, which is coming. And they've also announced that the updated version of Orbital will also be coming in November. So we've got, no, is it November? No, sorry, October. No, it's coming even sooner. Orbital is coming in October, which we're going to see now, which, I mean, personally, I don't think Orbital really needed a rework as such. I thought it was a pretty decent map. It did depend as well on Breakthrough. Typically, the attacking side would always sort of decimate the other team, but they are going to be given a sort of huge overhaul of Orbital, and some of the changes they're making is actually pretty ridiculous. Now, you would have seen from these other clips that Renewal hasn't, well, personally, I don't think it's really changed that much. I don't think it's going to. I think Renewal is a terrible map. Occasionally, it can play very well, especially on Breakthrough. I do not like it on All Out Warfare Conquest at all. But here, Orbital, which is a map I didn't think was going to get a sort of overhaul, because it does play pretty well already. Well, I mean, technically all the maps need overhaul, but as you can see here, there's a new command point to capture as well, which I don't know if I'll be bringing into Breakthrough, but it will be on Conquest. They are adding an absolute ton of more cover options as well, because vehicles do extremely well on orbital. There's just so much open road. Like here with the tunnels, is going to make it extremely hard for tanks just to fly through, or MAVs just to fly through. And the tunnels are also getting a brand new in and out system of entering and exiting, which I think is kind of needed, because I don't typically go in them tunnels, because once you get in there you're stuck, and if you get a tank come down, there's no easy way to say it, you're dead. Now this here I think is one of the biggest changes we've ever seen on a rework. They are absolutely destroying the main road that you can come up to in tanks and vehicles, especially in breakthrough. Like here, this is normally where you get the first capture point. This is going to seriously slow down vehicles. They're just going to absolutely try and decimate and push in. And this here as well, a load of more terrain changes. So hopefully these maps, I don't know, I think Orbital's already a really good map. I hope that this sort of rework does improve it even more. But Renewal is just one of their maps. When I see it, I back out. I don't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. It's just a terrible map. And this here is the new map that is going to be coming in Season 2, which we do not know or have a name for in a minute, but it looks extremely close quarters, more infantry based, which, I mean, to be honest, that's what we need a map like at the minute. We need something more infantry based, and as you just seen as well from that tiny little clip, there's the sort of zoomed out view of the map, which, I mean, it looks like another sort of container map, sort of more open on the outside, but in the centre is where it's going to be really packed, and I'm kind of excited to see how Breakthrough runs on this map. Now, I nearly missed this, but there are also going to be 3 newer weapons later in the season from Portal, so these assignments that we're going to be getting, the P90, the AK-7 4U, and the M98B, just thought I'd add that in before I do forget. So that is currently all the information that we have on Battlefield 4 2042, so I need to say 4 then, Battlefield 2042 Season 2. Now when it drops as well, of course there's going to be an absolute ton of patch notes, ton of changes, but at the moment this is all we've got, is sort of like a roadmap of where the game is heading, which I will put a screenshot up here as well, so you can sort of see month by month of what's happening. There's not too much on it, but obviously they're going to have mini updates, they're going to continue to update and progress the game. I mean, I'm fairly happy about everything. I feel like the only thing I'm sort of disappointed on is the vault weapons, which, don't get me wrong, it's going to be cool to have more weapons and attachments especially as well, to sort of make the gunfights more versatile, but it seems like a bit of a cheap way to sort of add in more guns to the game without actually adding guns in the game. But I mean, if they do find a way, and they do, sort of bring all of these portal weapons over, it could be one of the best things that happens to the game, because there's so many metas at the minute, mainly like the K30, which I haven't seen as much anymore, but close quarters you're always going to see it. The M5A3, AC42 I've seen has been coming up again. AK24 is still pretty decent. But well, I was going to call it VS Valve, and the BSVM, that is still absolutely ridiculous even after the nerf. So hopefully that's going to switch up the pace of the game, and I really do hope with these class systems though for specialists that they do add and sort of make it more tricky to choose the class that you want to play as. Especially I play as Falcon, I run around with an M5A3 or a BSVM. I play Falcon quite sort of pushy. I do a lot of medding, I carry around an ammo pack as well, I chuck proximity sensors. So Falcon being as a support class, I don't know if that's their version of mashing the support and medic into one role, but I'm not a huge fan if it's going to be her benefits are going to be from like LMGs and all that sort of stuff, because that's just something I've never touched an LMG in this game. I think I've used the LCMG maybe once or twice, but that's something I'm never gonna, you know, consistently use. That's just not my playstyle. So I hope that these changes that they do make, they really thought about the decisions that they're making and make these characters really suit their roles, because there is only going to be 2 support characters currently, and there is going to be a new specialist, but we don't know who that is yet. But when we do know, I will be making another video on it. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment and subscribe.